Isn't that crazy?
Boulevard. You ran all the way from the studio.
Did you see this matchup? I had to make sure that I was there for every part of this segment. I had to be on the desk, and yeah, I'm a little tired, but I had to sprint my way over here, man.
And I appreciate you doing so. This man's endurance is insane. Not only does
Cardio,
his mile
baby.
race a mile a minute, but so do his legs. How does he do it? As we'll see, how does the draft go with Ragnar hovering over the Akali. That should be a lock-in, as the bans are pretty standard, I'd say.
It's really interesting, too. Now we're starting to see a common trend of the day as a lot of these standard hyper carries just being taken out of the picture here. No Jinx, no Aphelios. Of course, Zeri being banned makes sense. And, of course, when you're playing LDLC, you got to put some respect on Yikes Viego. So instead, he's just going to end up getting the Zins out. Damn, what a shame. One of the strongest junglers in the game, LDLC. They're broken up about that, I'm sure.
That's absolutely crazy, but I find the most common response, and KC have done this before, has been the Volibear, right? Now, we've seen that both yesterday and today and last week, but I wonder if they'll prioritize it that heavily, considering, Jinx, Aphelios banned away, so instead they decided to give Reckless the Jhin, more so on setup, and Leona for Huntera. A very different look I've seen so far out of KC, and I wonder if this might hinder their plans.
We have seen some play from Jhin from Reckless, and it has been definitely a sight to behold. And I'm really interested to see, hold on, this is the hover, even though that would kind of be pretty decent. So the thing is, the Jhin Leona's a really strong bottom lane. You got a lot of aggression going through, and when you're at this point, again, instead of the Aphelios Jinx handshake, it's actually become the Ezreal Jhin handshake, which is what it's starting to really show here. And at this point, LDLC looking probably to blind a top laner or something along those lines. You can't fool me.
Nah. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Like you said, all these hovers kind of almost as taunting, Karmine. But if this is a lock-in for the Xerath, this would be the run back of what we saw previously. And it's not. It's not. It's Ezreal Karma. It's the poke lane. It's roaming. Every time this happens.
That's why.
See, look. I expected this. I thought it was coming. They want dive. It's not banned away. It's good at Zin's out.
Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of dive potential just overall with the Leona, the Jhin setup. It just makes perfect sense. Like you said, this is something KC have been doing a lot lately. And teams in general have been doing a lot. So it is not top laner that LDLC picked. They wanted to secure that poke lane where they will be able to get a lot of damage in early on, a lot of priority in that lane, and set up for Yike to be able to get a lot of that early game pressure on. You can go for these invades because early on, I think you can still get really aggressive onto 1-1-3 on these in this matchup.
And speaking of potential picks we might see for 1-1-3 and across and the rest of the team, right? It's the Gnar taken away, alongside with Gwen and the Orange, so top lane Shampoo. Now, it's not even more. We will continue to not see Gwen for a KC game. And I'm expecting another top ban as well. Actually, you want a mid ban, just to make sure the Seiken doesn't have that. The TF especially
That's
would
what
be
I was thinking
a really good one here as well. But we'll see what they pick.
Yeah, the TF would make a good amount of sense. They actually did go with a similar draft yesterday, and leaving that one up, especially with something like Camille up or Jace or something along those lines for Cabo Shard at the top lane, is definitely not ideal. So taking that out of the picture makes the most sense, and we just got to think about what mid laners left. Ahri still up, Victor, Syndra, LeBlanc, a lot of options you could potentially go for here. I think, Zoe. I think for, Azir was definitely not on my list of picks here, but it kind of is similar to Victor in that early on you don't have a lot of lane pressure, but get some levels, some itemization going through, then you're going to be able to get the push. And the thing is too, you have so much all-in from KC, but you also have this ability to either playmate with that Emperor's Divide or disengage. So it does give you that option to be able to say, you know what, I don't want this fight.
And speaking of not wanting a fight, what better way to do that than picking Xerath? When you can simply just be so far away, the fights don't even matter to you. You'll be halfway across the screen. And other ways of disengaging as see Ragnar pick up his oh-so-coveted Gragas pick.
Yeah, this is what I was expecting with all these top lane bans. They still are not putting respect onto Ragnar's Gragas. It's honestly, I think, is a really good champ at the moment. So flexible, so easily blindable. Doesn't really matter what KC you're going to pick into it here. Although, a lot of top laners are still available here. I was talking about Jace. Aurelia is up if they want to go that route. Malphite would actually not be, I don't think, an ideal pick. Just because of the fact that you're so heavily outranged and you're going to get really hard poked out. Unless you have flash, there is much to go for. I like Jace a lot more because you can kind of match that range and you're not going to end up being in that scenario where KC, the last time they had to deal with Xerath in a lot of range, they were getting hit from continents away.
I'm always so fascinated by how these drafts go for a lot of these teams, especially considering they pick up the Jace not here as well. It feels, and this is our third Jace we've seen today.
Yeah.
Out of the 4 games we've had. So
trying to get a level 1 play and force out a lot of their potions, biscuits, whatever they end up going for here. So they make sure that that can't actually happen as KC stack up to the top side. We highlight a lot. Early game is the shining spot for KC, and I think for most of their games, especially in the last 3-4 weeks, it has been. So now with 113, player we highlight a lot on this Volibear, he's going to be able to, he needs to try and find some of these angles to make plays happen.
So far for now, he'll try to make a small setup play right on the red buff of LDLC. Now Yike is obviously aware of this, and so is Exekick. As DOS moves up is here as well. He'll land the Karma Q. So that
Wow.
mantra does hit for
Oh my
quite
God.
a fair bit. Yeah, no resistance early on the Volibear. No shield landed. They have to
He has the
use
flash.
the ignite. The heal used as well. He's gonna stay alive.
Oh
No,
my
he's
God.
not. Ico with this ignite from mid. Wow. That's so bad for 113. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, that wasn't it, man.
No.
You are getting outranged very, very hard. When it comes to like those mantra Qs, the mystic shots coming out, I don't know how you think you're actually going to be able to come out on top, especially in this level 1 situation. So you saw what happened, 113. No flash, making some of his ganks harder, and he gave away first blood to Aka on one of his signature picks, the Xerath. Like you said, game for KC just got that much harder.
And KC know the wrath of the Xerath, as they faced it previously. If you want to go, definitely do not want to go against it. But 113 doesn't manage to make it back decently on time. And considering these all level 1 camps, he shouldn't be super far behind, but definitely losing that tempo that early on is not super great. But like you're mentioning, for now though, we'll see how LDLC choose to respond to this, as both KC and LDLC are proficient at making solo plays, early plays, and LDLC are quite good at responding to them as well. So we'll see how they set up.
It's definitely not like an FF angle, go next, or something like that for KC. It's just a rough start, especially against LDLC. Best team we have in the league at the moment. Top of the standings so far. Usually giving them an inch is not recommended here, as things slowed down since that first kill came through. 113 though has a pretty good angle on a gank, but already Exakick and DOS are like, something's not right. My spidey senses are tingling.
My friend, I believe they might have sniffed out what the Rock was cooking, with all that being given over in terms of the information. But at least they'll plan to dissipate and play more so for position. Because as of right now, things seem to be pretty even, but we are expecting the same top side supremacy from Karmine that we expected. Skirmishes continues to push this lane.
Yeah, it is as expected. Definitely ways for Ragnar to get ahead of this matchup here. It's going to be very player-dependent. Ragnar, Cabochard, 2 of the best top laners we have here in the LFL.
Very aggressive.
So it's definitely going to be a very exciting matchup, to say the least, once they really start to trade aggressively. But overall, not a whole lot else has gone through. We're seeing Yike now at level 4, now has finished the first clear and already has that pickaxe ready to go. You can see him. Things are coming through. None of those jungle camps are up just yet. Could be looking for a potential lane gank.
As there is a ward which DOS is very unaware of. Still managed to get the mantra Q off, no W to be had. But, like you're saying, if Yikes just managed to step up in the second brush, then will be punished for that. And 113 can probably look to make a play off of it, as he's heading towards topside. Cabochard has almost no mana here, so making a play as of right now would not be about the best of ideas. They wouldn't necessarily be able to punish Ragnar, as they're both backing up into the tower, and the wave pushing in is quite small. So, I imagine they'll just simply farm up and back.
113 could look for a dive on that next wave if he really wants to, but I think he's just going to go ahead and continue farming his Krugs and just farming the top side of the map. But not much is being done here. You got to give props to Aka though. Talked a little bit about the mid lane matchup, and so far this is definitely a tough one for the Azir, just because of how much you are outranged, and giving Aka that counterpick opportunity so far playing out pretty well in terms of LDLC gaining control of that mid lane. And it means that DOS, because they also have control bot, is going to be able to move around the map a little bit more. Of course, you don't have the impact that Huntera might on something like Leona, Still, you do offer a lot of poke. You do offer that bit of shielding.
Indeed.
If you get into a little bit of a mixy situation.
And the last time these two teams met Beatdown, LDLC looked infallible. A phenomenal look out of them, but
yeah.
Corp unfortunately did have their streak broken by Geo yesterday. So the bounce back could potentially be here, and being LDLC could be massive if they manage to do so. We've been talking a ton about dreams being broken. I'm guilty of that, as was previously mentioned on the desk. But we'll see how this matchup shakes up, because I know a win for Corp here would definitely help out a lot and really shake up the standings as LDLC continue to maintain top form.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about a lot about getting to 6th place here and how important it is to simply qualify for playoffs. But now when we're looking at these top of the table teams, teams like LDLC, Corp, getting top 2 is a really big deal. You get to skip and start skip the quarterfinals basically.
Yep.
During the you get that first round bye
Yep.
in the bracket there for the playoffs. That is good. You get that time to scrim, plan, practice, watch your future opponent, whoever it ends up being. Yeah, play solo queue definitely, as everybody loves doing that.
Oh, yeah.
And it is a big deal to be able to secure yourself those top 2 spots. Of course, LDLC still in first, but Corp trying to get to that top 2 position, being one of the best teams, being probably the best team in the league as of today, is a great way to do that.
I always wonder how if teams or players get tripped up playing solo queue on just patches that are 1 or 2 things ahead, and then when they go back into playing in the league, they're at least 2 patches behind. So I wonder if that I wonder to think about that, because it's not as though they can play patches on it's not as though they can play solo queue on previous patches, right? So
no,
I think about that a lot. I wonder if that really just take effect into the play, but I doubt it. They're professionals.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it depends. You get to practice certain champions. Oh, hold on a second.
Nah, he's fine. See? Look at that.
Okay, yeah, you're right. He's fine. But still, it doesn't feel good being pressured by a Karma like that. Regardless, so it's actually incredible how much I was talking about it when I was on the desk, before I had to run all the way over here. How these teams are both so aggressive in the early game.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a damn thing since minute 1, which is kind of crazy to me. But now with the Rift Herald going down, KC, please, I hope, will be able to do something and make something happen. Because you have this Volibear who's level 6 now. You have so much dive potential. You could play for top. You could play for mid. You could play wherever you want. Just play somewhere.
Just
give me something.
We want these teams to just play.
I can't do this, man. All these games today, I was thinking, oh, it's okay. LDLC, KC, that's gonna be so great.
That's such a holding out for it.
I was like, it's okay. This game is gonna be hype. It's gonna be back and forth. Plays being made. I was robbed.
And flashes, execution. There we
Okay.
go.
Yeah, let's go, Ragnar.
The cask. Cabochard is dead. No, he's not. He flashes. The other barrel doesn't land, but
there it is.
The ultimate.
Right of the Arcane is pretty good. He's telling Execute, sorry, buddy, you're a little too slow on that one. But I like it. Everybody was there to contribute, thinking, finally, action. Let me get in on this somehow.
We did it. I'm so excited. But yeah, like you're saying, it's like when you think about a frozen pizza that you have in your freezer, like just the entire day, like, oh man,
no.
I'm gonna go home and have that pizza. I'm gonna have that pizza. Yeah. It's the only thing getting you through your day.
Yeah,
If you get home and your sister ate the pizza and your life is ruined, that's it. Dreams crushed. Everything gone.
Did that happen to you?
Yeah, it did.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. I really appreciate
That's
your
terrible,
condolences.
actually.
I had a really bad day. Yeah.
Wait, was this recently?
Not too long ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
You know what I had to eat afterwards, man?
Don't say it.
Dude, veggies. I had to make stir fry. I was so sad.
I actually think we just need to take like a moment of silence for Ravish's dinner that night.
Thank you. I didn't even have oyster sauce either. It was salt and pepper. I had no sauce.
I wish you guys could see the face I'm making. The pain.
But, I'm sure pain is being felt by Karmine a little bit. Right, the first 2 bloods given over to Aka. And realistically, that first blood should not have happened. So we should be, I'm going to assume that we're at first blood territory right now. At 10 minutes, LDLC get first blood.
No, I don't know about that, okay? Because I'm happy we got kills early on, so
Okay.
I think we're all right with what's been going on.
Okay.
Now, speaking of, I'm very all right with 113 hovering this top side. This was an angle that I was talking about that they could go for here. And I like this. He's committing.
Good Everfrost. And Cabochard can't move in. They get the flash shot on Ragnar and the slow on the Cabochard as well. But with this, they get the second proc, the W for 1-3 healing up. The tower dive here would not be great. No explosive cast, no flash. And okay, they execute that really well.
Really nice. 1-1-3 splash comes back up, and he's able to get the Q stun. And it's perfect. You get the right of the arcane is gonna.
Oh!
Wow! Almost kill Cabochard. And with Yike.
No way!
Wow.
Dude, this is such pain.
Scale of 1 to 10 right now. How pissed?
25?
Yes, that's the correct answer. Cabochard. I mean, realistically, the chunk coming through like that with the right of the arcane, of course, combined with the tower, does mean that there wasn't going to be a Herald's play anyway. They had to leave. That's just brutal, man. That sucks.
It's like they're playing dodgeball all over again against this team.
Yeah, K-Corp definitely getting flashbacks at the moment, just to that previous game. I can't even remember who was it Solary who did that?
I think so.
Yeah, because Scarlet was playing. Scarlet was playing Xerath.
And then it was Azza on the Jhin.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
And because such a style where he just had to just move back and forth. At a certain point, he gave up and just stood still.
Yeah, he just let it happen. That's all you can really do in that situation. In this situation, though, K-Corp definitely have more agency.
For sure.
And they're definitely trying to use it. Now, this time, Huntera is here on the top lane. Because of the attention on the dragon that LDLC are giving, Ragnar's respecting that, thinking, like, all right, I need to back off. I know, I'm going to give away my farm.
Yeah. He's going to lose the entire wave. He can't move in. It's unfortunate. But this is the plan for KC, right? That's why you pick Jace. That's why, you pick this Volibear because you want early dives. You want Cabochard specifically on the Jace pick to get ahead. Because they play for Cabochard naturally on Karmine. But with plays like this is exactly what you want to do to get him out of the lane, to move him bot side, just to accelerate it even more, as there we go. Shelly will not get off a second charge, luckily. They managed to hold a tier 2, but Karmine strike first in terms of towers.
That's right, and they get all 5 plates at first turret bonus gold, which is going to be a nice boon for them here. All the rest of the map still going all right for them. With how isolated things tend to be in top lane, things really more focused on the 4v4, especially when you're fighting for objectives on the bottom side. Things are in a pretty even state as a result. And I mean, if you look at the gold, that's the case no matter how you look at it. At this point, Aka is being Xerath, just the third most annoying champ.
Woo! Clean flash from DOS. They avoid the play, but the stun comes out. That's the second flash from Aka as well. And not be able to move forward, but both flashes blown. That's very, very worth. A second gets blown out of proportion. Unfortunately, not gonna die though from this though, but as the current calls get opened, Reckless will have to cancel those immediately. The show is over as Yike is here. But they find a lot of damage onto Huntera, and there's a flash blown from him too. So flash counter at 3 currently.
Yeah, a lot has been blown off of that play. Seiken not able to find the Emperor's Divide. He didn't have to flash to do so. He gets to walk away with at least that. No way. Okay, he doesn't get it yet. But still, really nice turn coming through from LDLC. It was a good move from Ragnar, actually, who immediately moved in to try and set up that play. As DOS has been just doing... We're talking about playing dodgeball. DOS is excellent at dodgeball.
Oh, he's fantastic. He was starred in the movie Dodgeball, in fact.
He was.
Yeah.
He learned how to dodge traffic and tools.
He's playing Frogger IRL.
Yeah, if you can dodge traffic, you can dodge a ball.
You're right. You know what? Let me go out and test that today, in fact. For now, though, LDLC will look to make a play bot side. They do have Ragnar coming there, but Cabochard instead will be dead. Oh, no way! He gets 2v1 outplay, dodges one more to that right of the arcane. Is not up as of yet. Aika not gonna land the W either. Unfortunate, and he gets and misses the third Q. Cabochard, like you said, excellent at dodgeball. And yeah, he overstayed. They found it.
Wow.
He's not going to die. Buff transfer complete.
Right, and he's gonna go. Oh, unless.
Maybe.
Oh,
maybe,
wait.
Maybe. A little bit off.
Yeah, well, that's a little unfortunate. And Cabochard's actually gonna go ahead and take the top side jungle there of Yike. Those 2 camps. That is brutal. And this 2v1 was kind of insane. They knew this was coming, so Aka immediately is on the move here. But Cabochard managing to get some poke down is a big deal. And of course, Aka, usually as Xerath, you want to be not that close. I'm not really sure why he took the blast cone, but I suppose it was to apply pressure so Ragnar wouldn't end up falling. Either way, Cabochard played this one excellently.
Indeed, and As right now, another play we see in the little preview, another play he played also excellently. Which, by the way, I just want to give a shout out to Reckless for landing that belly flourish from halfway across the screen. Really cool.
Very well played. Reckless is pretty good at Jhin, and it shows whenever he manages to bring it out here in the LFL. And
I
now
think
we
you
talk.
can stop the sentence as Reckless is pretty good.
Yeah, true. I mean, K-Corp, talk about early leads and how important it is to their success. We're starting to see that come through this game. Things were slow early. First blood given over in an unfortunate, very confusing situation.
Yep.
But you can see that that is not the case anymore, and they're not getting off the gas. Exakick thinking he can safely farm at range. Well, he can't.
No, he cannot indeed. And
another deadly flourish.
Oh, wow. That's the second one. Both big setup by Reckless, all while staying mid. How does he do it?
Dude, W is a wonderful button on your keyboard sometimes. It can make you do some wondrous things. Reckless shows us time and time again. Right now, K-Corp, really strong lead on them for the moment here. A lot of gold on Cabochard. This is kind of what happens when you manage to play around a pick like this. Of course, when you're such a strong top laner in Cabo as well. And K-Corp doing a really good job at playing for him and overall finding leads across the map here, punishing people like Exakick.
And we mentioned a lot about K-Corp and early leads, right? We say how, unfortunately, you know, when they're not necessarily super far ahead, especially we saw it in the Geo game yesterday, when they get punished early on, they haven't been the best at playing from behind. And in fact, for LDLC, they almost always get an early lead, and when they don't, they consistently manage to turn it back around through some grace of a god. But K-Corp Rise right now do have pretty decent lead, about 1,000 gold, so not bad.
They managed to pick up a good chunk. Heralds will be able to charge the next turret. Problem is, though, a little bit of poke coming through from Seiken. The second dragon rather, is going to go over there for K-Corp. But so it's like you said, LDLC, we usually can't count them out when they're behind, especially when it's only something like 1,000 gold. They definitely have ways to play this game and get themselves back into it. And the biggest thing for me is if they manage to get to objectives first, we're going to hold that thought. He's in trouble.
Oh, yeah, that's the execution. There we go. Knocks him away right into Huntera's loving arms. Really well done. And like you were saying, the Emperor's Divide being used almost twice now for really well set up plays.
Right, and I mean, Seiken's one of those players who we talk about. When he's playing, he has CC, whatever champion he's playing on, he's so good with the setup. Whether it's TF, Brilliant Soul, all sorts of different things from this mid laner, and he's been able to do so much work for the team here. Of course, we can't leave Aka out of that conversation. And we're going to see, because I was talking about getting to objectives first for LDLC. If they manage to get there, having to face check them is going to be very difficult. For KC, with all the poke that they have, you got a lot of range from this Ezreal Karma. You have a lot of range from the Xerath. And that's what LDLC should be looking to do, trying to set up plays by getting to these objectives first.
Now, unfortunately, when they give away picks like that, naturally they can't move up, nor can they move their visual line up either. But LDLC for now are still posturing towards topside. You know, they did not get the second Rift Herald either, but that is up as of right now. Well, actually, that should be the Baron, never mind. But yeah, they managed to get that. But for now, this will be after to go back to a bit more of a lull state, as Dragon is not up for another 3 minutes. And if Karmine go for a 20-minute Baron, I will eat my hat.
Good thing you don't have one, because you never really know how this one might turn out.
I have one in the car.
Okay, I mean, you said it. Bamboozle equals bamboozle.
Indeed. Dude, I've been thinking about how, like, just, there's so many sounds of League of Legends that scare me as soon as they're triggered.
Really?
Like, yeah. Like, Silence Alt is one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
I just like, no, I don't know. It doesn't bother me.
Because it's just like a gong, right? That tolls on the map. So it immediately makes you think of, you know, for whom does the bell toll, right? And most of the time it's for me. And and Nocturne's ult, because it's just like,
okay, Nocturne's ult is very.
He's a whisperer's darkness.
So it's even worse. It's funny when it happens when the Nocturne's on the enemy team, or on your team rather.
Yeah.
And you still are like, oh wait.
Like, okay, I'm fine. Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, there's no Nocturne in this game. But I mean, I think the same thing when a Xerath is on my team. When I see the thing going on, I start dodging. I was like, oh god, oh wait a second.
No, it's fine. But Huntera might not be fine. He has 113 with him. the TP coming as well. Cabochard can hop over the wall, looking for an angle for the shock blast, finds it onto DOS. And there we go, that's the power slam. But the Everfrost out to see more. Ragnar is in trouble, caught inside the red Baron pit, but it's not, sorry, just a red pit. But instead, Exakick will be the one taken out. Ragnar will get away with the flash, and suddenly LDLC lose 3 only for 1.
There's a big fight there coming through from Corp, managing to, again, continue to find these angles, and it's Reckless being so good on this Jhin. He's, from the safety of the Dragon Pit, is able to pelt the members of LDLC with the curtain call, making it so hard to come through. And you can see it, making good use of Cabochard's lead, always starting these fights, in these situations where Cabo's able to just jump in, use all the damage he has to be able to help secure these kills. And now they're continuing to push this advantage against LDLC, and you'll see it in the replay. Yike. Thinking Huntera is on his own, thinking, okay, I gotta punish this, we can get this pick, we can get control of vision in the bot side river. But Huntera's able to live a really long time, and with Seiken TPing in, able to help make this big play. No amount of damage and ults coming through from Aka is able to actually do anything about it here. Exakick will be able to get one, finally finish off Huntera, but it cost LDLC so much for that play, and it's so much pressure that they aren't able to get back for the moment here. You can see it on this gold graph, where things really started to go into LDLC's favor the last 10 minutes or so. And it means that KC are going to be in a great position to be able to get that soul point. That's coming up in about 30 seconds here.
We've seen a lot more priority, I find, especially from the side of Corp for the Dragons. Considering how often, considering how much they play for topside, just the fact that they managed to secure these half the time is impressive. That is so unfortunate for 113. I know he wanted that, man. That's just a rip and chat. That's all it is.
Yeah, there wasn't much. At least there wasn't much to do about it. It did cost Exakick his cleanse still being rooted by the Deadly Flourish, and now Yike, he's looking around. He's strong too. Level 11, Gore Drinker done. He wants to try and make something happen here, but fighting with this dragon, it's not an option. All you can do is try and pressure Seiken.
And that's one way to do it. There we go. He gets locked up, trying to CC the Emperor's Divide out, but they'll trade that for Soul Point and mid tower gone as well. I think if I'm looking at potential trades, yeah, this is pretty good for LDLC.
It's not bad. Really nice to punish Seiken, who's pushed up when you know you have visual that most of Corp are on the Dragon, so they end up punishing the mid laner. KC, who was flashless in the situation, they end up getting a nice injection of gold for it. And an shutdown for Exakick is a big deal as well, because now we're seeing that Muramana come through, and we talk about how important of a spike that is for Ezreal. These mystic shots, that poke, being a lot more potent as a result of that itemization really starting to come through.
And we talk a lot about these teams where execution is the name of the game for a lot of them, right? Where there's simply no hesitation to come out from either side, and they go in at a dime. And LDLC have also been pretty good about responding to unfortunate missteps as well, but Karmine as of right now aren't giving them a ton of space, besides just, maybe a missed ult or two. Before now, LDLC are doing a good job of punishing if somebody's just a little bit too far forward, and it is within right of the arcane range.
That's right, and what a long range that it is. When we talk about item spikes too, Cabochard has reached that third item spike. He's so accelerated by how much attention KC have been giving him in the top lane, and him having that Cyrilda's Grudge, he is just he's going to destroy people now. Exakick, Aka, DOS, anybody gets hit by one of those empowered shock blasts, Cabochard is going to be taking people off the screen much faster than they are expecting, especially if he is allowed to get up close. The only thing you really have going for you right now as LDLC is they've managed to narrow the gold lead just a little bit because there's no dragon to play for. KC are already at Soul Point. Yep. They can focus their vision on this top side of the map here, and they're kind of making sure that once Baron actually becomes a factor, KC will have to face check into them, which is going to really benefit LDLC.
Indeed. Now, hopefully with this LDLC don't lock their Xerath and their Ezreal into a small platform.
This.
And yeah, this is we have actually seen quite a fair bit of Baron sneaks and baits over the past day. But this one might be one of the best, as unfortunately they do get an inkling of it decently early on though, so they will have to eventually run away from it. But KC eventually stop that, and we'll see if LDLC want to try to go for more. Yike steps up, 1-1-3, and Huntera ready for the response.
It was a nice try from LDLC, but K-Corp, I like that Cabochard doesn't use the teleport. He stays. He knows that his 4 team members have enough to be able to force LDLC off the Baron if they were actually doing it, and they were. So it's easy. Cabo gets an extra injection of gold, 600 in his pockets after taking the tier 2, and this bot wave is so far pushed in, he can recall and walk to join his team, holding on to the teleport. Wow. So this is such a strong position for K-Corp to be in.
And this should make the position even stronger. Yikes pushes the pressing guard. He's under his own tower. Managed to get the shield from the E and walks away. So not bad. Close call and still keeps his flash.
Yeah, big deal there. Seiken doesn't get caught out this time, although things were close. Now the teleport from Eika, it looks like, no, Ragnar, just to make sure Executive can't get jumped on top of because of the presence LDLC showed on the top side of the map. Was he just going to be able to join whatever situation might come out sooner? But Cabochard, they have a good amount of vision. Look at the damage. This is what I'm talking about.
I know, man. The Jace is at 3 items. He's about to get another. That lethality is going to hit like a truck. And if this is an anime, you're not going to an isekai. You're going to the base. When Truck-kun eventually hits you, but eventually for now they will try to take these mid-tier 1 at least. But Jack has something to say about it. Clears out the wave and forces 1-1-3 away.
They hold on to the mid tier 1, but it's tough. All this pressure, or rather, all this presence required means that the side lanes aren't being really dealt with on LDLC's side. They have some time before they really need to answer them, but that time is running out, especially because we're 40 seconds away from what's going to be K-Corp's Soul Dragon. And that, honestly, is going to be a really powerful soul for the squad. Getting that move speed when they ult is going to be so impactful for K-Corp's all-in potential here. When you commit things like the Stormbreaker, like the Solar Flare, getting the move speed just makes it that much harder to stay on top of LDLC, and it makes it harder for LDLC to stay at range like they like to play.
Indeed, my friend. Because we were looking at this similar issue for KC yesterday as well, where they just weren't able to get to the back line, especially with the Grays, right? You want to have some sort of access, as there's the access they might need. Brought the Arcane push early on, just to force them away down mid, as it is soul point right now for Karmine. And them getting Yike would be one way to set that up, but they would have managed to do so. Still 5v5.
Oh, wait a minute. Cabochard is here. They could find him.
They go on to Yike it again to find the re-engage, but instead Hunter dies first. 1-3 is a bit too deep. There's a trade-off though, but 1-3 dies too. This could be big for LDLC, but he managed to stay alive with a sliver of health, and they also take out Ragnar in the process. As Ika and Executive have to run away, they will get this mid-tower, and they will get Dragon Soul.
That flank from Cabochard was so good, making it so that now LDLC have that momentary hesitation. Like, hey, do we try and turn on him? Do we try and back off? And that's when K-Corp managed to pull the trigger. They jump in, and Ragnar doing his best to keep Cabochard at bay, even though it costs him his life. Might have worked out if he was able to buy a couple more seconds. The damage was there, and you can see it with how this fight is going to play out. Reckless already pressured so much by the right of the Arcane, like you were talking about just a moment ago, and you're going to see that angle in about a second there. Look at the mini-map. You see Cabochard is coming in, and as soon as he's spotted out by that blue-pink ward, that's around the time we see K-Corp go ahead and pull the trigger. You can see it right around here. Countera finds the perfect angle to go back in, and even though it was a good angle, Ragnar, you can see him. He's trying to use his body, trying to block Cabochard from joining the fray, and it was almost a good fight for LDLC, but K-Corp managed to come out.
Yeah, it was really close there too, and especially keeping 1-1-3 alive was supremely clutch too, considering he was on just a sliver of health off the back of that. Just one more Q from Execute would have done it, but he also be forced away after all the damage that was coming in. Reckless current call. Just to put out too much pressure. As Cabo, sneaky.
Oh my god.
On Ragnar, there we go. The power slam and just one Q. Okay. I'll pop the stopwatch. One more on the Arcane.
Oh, he's
no
alive.
Way. He dodges it again. And he stays alive. He's TPing. He's fine. He's alive. He's going to the top side. And he's out of there. Not even close, baby.
Yeah, I can't even believe it. Cabochard, they were throwing everything at him, every global ability they had, and it wasn't enough to take him out. It's unreal. It cost him both summoners, but he's able to TP away and keep top lane, push Yikes in trouble.
Reckless has flash if he wants to try to get away, but Yike is in there by himself. He's blanked out by Huntera, and there's no support. I don't understand, but yeah, Dawson run away as well.
He's got to run away, tail between the legs, no jungle, no top means K-Corp get to go ahead and take the Baron for themselves. It's going to be so hard to force them off of it. It's going to be on Ica. A lot of poke on the Xerath, but he's going to have to do it at a safe range because Cabochard, he is looking for a kill.
I believe he's looking, but instead, Doss was looking for something as well. Will not find it. Huntera will die, but that is just not enough for them to force them off the Baron. And Cabochard now feeling very confident with that Baron buff. Looking at exit kick, looking at Ragnar,
damage.
at Aka, who are supremely low. One good shock blast can obliterate all of them. That's one hit, the second for Ragnar. Exit kick's kiting away, but Cat113 has the shield, and that's the shock blast that I'm talking about. As four of them got the Baron.
And that's it, K-Corp, they are taking everything, and you see how well they've been able to just accelerate this game off the back of Cabochard, their top laner on this Jace pick, and we're going to see a replay of this insane fight coming through. Cabochard, he's 3 levels up, he's got an item and a half, maybe 2 item advantage on Ragnar, and you can see how quickly he lost most of his HP. All he really had going for him was the stopwatch, but Cabochard, he's got the fancy feet, and something really weird happened there with the body slam. It feels like the body slam made that shot the right of the arcane miss, but either way, that was immediately the opportunity to go ahead, start this Baron off, and find the fight that happened after.
Really well done by them. You just saw, like, with that there, yikes. It was actually way too far up, and I noticed now too, second was, it's actually forcing him away right from the Raptor pit. So, it was a really good job making sure that Doss and Aka aren't a factor in the fight. Because now with Baron on their side, 1-1-3 and the rest of Karmine can look to just simply end the game. They have a small wave with them, but Doss is dead, so it's a 4v5, but most of the members of LDLC and the damage dealers are still alive. I don't necessarily know about this push. Jack goes there into 1-1-3.
Oh, nice play.
The back way, the right of the arcane. They stop it through Huntera, but he will definitely die from this. They trade 1-for-1 inside the base, but Karmine lose most of their wave. They got one more coming in, though.
Whoa,
another deadly flourish from Reckless. How does he keep doing it? And now the Doss back alive. Still, there are only 3 there for LDLC. A tower will fall. Cabochard is now in, and he said, go back inside the base, bro. You don't belong here. And we actually kick dead. One final shot, and right now they're just getting as many kills as they can. They want to got positive KDAs, and that's one way to do it. They'll get the full ace, and they will end the game.
K-Corp can't seem to beat Gamer's Origin at any point in time.